2020 was excellent. It was really excellent because now, so went from Professor and then bam, then Professor is there, then Professor create challenging results. He said there be the results equal idea more than 6 at than 9. You know, but you've learned lessons.
Oh, Monsieur Nyamapi.
To Judy say it was yours.
Oh, tell me more Localization Center na mikita more results. To me the more results na mazokwe. But the intimidation to them work and Ashanti region for working Mustafa Minu and Mustafa Suruki. Was the AK-47s? 25 armed militia was
Prof.
Was a soldier. Na was a mask. Ne binum was them in a tour round na what do call war.
The bar honum.
Collation Center. Now wash military outfit, wash boots. They back at the soldier for the only ways they won't the 1 year soldier for the binum wa bodri, a binum when you name tag into Onuncotina, Mr. Minim.
But draw pay for attention to that. And I not quite a chum of a kite. Oh, Mackay, Mackay, because strangers. You have to draw the necessary authorities.
AK-47 or a trickers until they can't carry it on the side into or strap one. One belt and a big grenade, second, and no more Ossen son.
And only professors be more high to be some more.
I'm not going to him. No one had to me say true that.
So they were there as what?
They were there, were being intimidating and were shooting Grofway Bassa. They shot and injured 3 people.
A security?
Yes.
Is it on record?
Joy FM show one that night. I even have me to jump for him one for him, Maria Metrobi.
And the results 26,701, 24,527. You still didn't believe that was the result?
Oh, Nazami Mokona Muenim cry. I mean, the results Namudu Kwayo because Namim the Collation Center. You are just going to call it. And Konko Kanaba. And Sabano, one dispute or a polling station. Collation Center, there's no dispute. So there were 2 polling stations, one of major one sign. On also the number was switchy. What the midden, what the ma papa, na papa nidden, what the mammy, what the ma joke at, and what the joke at is in the mom. Into one sign. Another one, horrible figures, Nankasankasa, no, the number no, what the Biaka, and also one sign. So 2 polling stations, one a pink sheet, and more make it in one. One comanka can about na intimidation. I'm in Pomoko and I went with my cousin. What's the one team I'm inside? I'm not missing meeting with ballot box. Also, no, we didn't tell member inside. But luckily for me, I want to Mankasame Chapel, so I Methodist Church, Bethany Methodist Church. Intina minim hawa eba fa do be Roma coincide. Intima catch my cousin Donya she on my me wo kwan bi na ye ka fa kwan de ko ya mu chapel ya de no. Asempa FM. Eskado kata na onya agro. Ya wo hwa na regional minister Kobi Ochredakun. Asempa in cahoots with Bobo. One so was it Mesa. Enyo, once what the more or what do you call it? Abolos, yeah, can abolos. Troops, macho men. What the back come will boy ballot boxes to do worry. I don't demonstrate be could be in it. I mean, I'm put 2016. I was number Collation Center. I mean, them dana what happened. Me second me who on po ya kankani amba. Obi o Lucino or G2. 2008, the next election, I think is 2012, 2016. Nina Obiaro Lucy Bia Ajogati since was set to constituency happen in 2018. Ono was Okafun first or Okoye, Orini, David Mason Okoye, Ojinachi. The next election, the same day now, Wabobona we win and then you pokon wide and work on seat. The next election, Onye Tom Brown. And Abe Onya Abehat no nyino kwai Owini Abehat or concede. The next election Onye Tom Brown kwai Owini Tom Brown or concede. The next election Onye Joe Mensa kwai Owini or concede. Last election amenko timidinu. Also unte kra was working kanaban. Was working kanaban. Na ohun the way losing was ofenti. Into all them na was started the warfare free. One macho men and one crofunda one bra. Me ballot boxes no fi kojo crewman. So all babasina you have to pass in front of his house. Odu one watch box what that coincide. Were intimidating Crawford. People were fighting in front of his office. Oh, it's got to get an on guru. So Mama once man stand the Mankasami supporters ne down in Caribbean or year worse than teaching myself.
Really?
Yes, AK-47 man could take in 25. On you be no so. And now, go forward and also name many collation center. Ami Mudu obe 7. Mitina wa to be 6 a.m. But where you want the no so maminara okade no and obene it was never true. I was there, feely, live on your be no say. Mwonfonyina mutuchai because what do baby na muhun system no. What do light? What say? What's so lighting? Na easy official. Okita pen or the face of the pink sheet.
Prof,
yeah, no, see, you know, there was a lot of they created chaos and confusion. And to what also not on one day, into one day way to now agents not the one monitor the man no way. Me won't be though. I don't no collation center. I mean, like in normally in Kanye Pokon Pobe traumatized because that was my first election. Me you put there, you know, bibi dam. I'm so me major on my lazy. Ejuma ne me ye because na minim dem me win na am so the juma shamansa me ye mo brodo. I'm not lazy and I'm nkado na ma abra na ekro mu nko ho na dey bi ejuma bia I'm ready to get in the mud in the gutter, get my hands dirty. I don't have a problem with it because me are focused. Inti ejuma no na me so coming in na wabaka de oh mami or yeah, you know, as you said, sort of politically unknown. So out of nowhere coming to unseat Obide Jogati. It was a big deal. So I knew that I'm a major man order me and 10 times Papa Nezi.
Prof, are you speaking the reality?
Mama found for you in Chiro, me collation
25 AK.
Mamma Chiro for you. Not sure what they were wearing. We trying to collation center waro. So it's not that easy. But na minim de adwuma ne za amedze wode hyamesa moto maye na one home kra one home me adwuma.
And you still want to lead?
As for the leading the Iskadoketan there, I will lead the Iskadoketan. I'll be the next MP for Iskadoketan constituency because my adwuma wo Iskadoketan for what the makoma ho e wona mefi e wona move from ashe e wona wo what's wa da ye na wara na aye ame man ya hwana no ye ne 20 years yet my papa kwhwe ma waye e kwan krupo papa bi eni ho sanitation insu one of the worst kwhwe yen classrooms e besu from my classroom there ye meetings politics ye meetings for classrooms and the first thing I made in the mekatina wa mush around a whiteboard or a blackboard into Montreal desk nina we bubu tables I say that maybe in school or papa and the way paint on po or yet today all students and I will get together and we paint to school room.
Is a
Kadoketan nanan katia school all ben tell the men nanan katia the fourth now what the school no what the two I am missing one miss yer kwenye and I yer bahini about some no risk. So MP waji sika waji get fund waji social intervention fund waji kuno friend and NIH fund waji common fund $1 million per constituency per year since Akufo Addo be $1 million only $8 million see that where is all that money yanka kwana say yensu sama say apo de kanye no po abesa ya sam kradum so no yen equipment him dey yensu ye fishing community inti enyoma no enam no ode ye de che fridge enam no ode ye de che fridge because yentum e bi entum nton ni nyina the same day entum so ho ni nyina the same day inti do baby a ode de bi che fridge in the yenya fridge po yen fa yen na menship. It's see say yeba a shows that them some power good listeners nkrofo te nkrofo pedo wo ho asam wo rekoda oya no kwar no am sure dem wana wo audience na wo te no wonyim no kwar no wo no Ghana for year bro onye dem simple na oya kasa na brofa kese na onye dum so oyo dum sesi you know that kind of language in Ghana for I want trouble. You watching papa a school now work and free SHS and from Manupo they are not ready. Why in wholesale obian brebi but when say school now mambo from 1 hour ban into classroom now go for 20 other what and then go for 16 na what them into a one point you want maybe no want them Echo dining hall school be a mempeda mo school ni no headmistress and osi open school or do ye dining hall tables in Mbofama ni be better because what's in Mbofama abaka but 1 year facilities to accommodate the microphone books now one febiamba desk and febiamba classroom in sibianka ho in schools now the one thing I young can want some only one sanitation issues one toilet now one bathrooms. One toilet na one bathrooms. One of my schools. Mokwa me say into dem school ye besia na sebio echim wonsa ebe dem po na akwadam toilet ya na asesa wo.
But Prof, you've identified these challenges over 16 years. So how are you going to solve it?
The problem is solvable. Na anyi there ye be for plan. There yentumi ye ni nyina mpo every year mpo ye bibi kakra. And ye manifesto. Ye twanma Papa Mahama ne manifesto Papa no so waba. Onu ba na yensi ye release ye manifesto because the two manifestos has to be in line. Me Papa Mahama ne 24-hour economy. Obe create jobs amam. Mami po me localize no nti menye me
there. But
do
you believe in the 24-hour economy?
I'm na say abrochi 24-hour economy na me meeting.
No, and I'm saying, do you believe in the 24-hour economy?
I believe more brodo because I'm 24 hours in wa mama who I am today. I grew me fear na me secondary school. Mokwa abrochi. I did 6 from Ghana na mokwa America. Mokwa American 24-hour economy na obuam because na mama and papa woniska. Papa no ejuma Ghana Railways. My mother was a trader. I mean, she had enough, but not the kind of abrochis kana politicians. What you are abroching ni bin me and papa were politicians. Inti no wada mankasa me ejuma na mutuam school fees. Inti muko school anopa 9 by 3:34 na ma happen. Me be fear me bada 1 hour. The next hour na mo ejuma. Me ejuma till midnight. The Misikan na mudu to school fees. The Misikan na mudu to books. The Misikan na mudu shamu.
Rent.
Mudu to rent. Rent impo no jiskane kase. The Misikan into 24-hour economy no. It works. It has made me who I am. Sometimes omutumu switch no fun instead of Marco Juma moko evening classes. Because it's a 24-hour cycle. Sometimes me ye Juma ebien. Weekends na monko school no. Moko anopa 9. Ma pon 4:30. Mo pon 4:30. Ma san ma kwa another ejuma ma pon 12. So I do 2 shifts. It's a 16-hour shift. Yes, 16 hours in a first 8 hours or your regular time.
But those jobs now are they available or local area?
The same jobs.
Are you talking about stores and I say
no, 24 hours because they say
is the demand there?
The demand is there. So we find the Kojokro market. Our constituencies, the one of the biggest market, and our Cancer Road market. Those are the areas I identify them in 24 hours. You find them in 24 hours. Na shop or you find the Abazimpo Norton, and my minipo market Norton Banchin. So Otumuto onion crofwe bass a crobaba no per crab in you brew up on midnight a crab on my chan. Now you're not a pen day, yet that the whole day. Motuma, sir.
But Prof, 8 p.m. You've lived in a Cicado most of your life.
Yes.
Wouldn't say clearly, you money beyond my air brobo so and my Nyadi beats me around 24 hours.
Oh, you run my
you want to do a local content 24 hours, but you need to be specific and know and fish out certain jobs be a demand. I
am extremely specific and super focused, laser focused with surgical precision. Me and Dagro. Mama can you there? Said them mammy na young fund our store. Autumn provisions. Ossi, may 3 shifts. me papa Mahama bomo enufano or peak peak high peak inti anopa no electricity no be low obviously and so can the whole night inti you bring obomo tax incentive the way you bring now machine electricity or a time of use no better do inti na mami na kadam ami or voluntary ami me peda me 24-hour economy miss you ye for wo papers but ye more tax incentive about other member from me were unemployed because youth unemployment is one of my biggest problems for one way bien na high one ekono bebe nyu bi na ekono baba ahwachin dem nyipa na oreba na ami me ye dem da na muso na mroko dem fa car me de kwa na ambo cars taxis abobo ya wo ho say praja so wide and waba abobo ya no po no na wode be movement of goods and service movement of goods so the abobo ya person will also be working now say praja na waba no po no youth ebo humbo from anu 17 16 e people we the city no was started or drive praja into the mumbo from anu so once we be adwuma ye wie so ye in the market na 24 hours or the ma security into security for no so ye be he bi aka ho post office wa how do wait 24 hours.
Prof, whether it's easier said than done there now.
It's not easier said than done. Say
a local driven 24-hour economy
is the game changer.
Security, energy demand.
Me sit down a game changer. Me say a one warm, a one move from our economy ye obey ya mama.
So in your constituency,
every child
in your constituency, if I'm running 24
the places that I've seen that are almost similar, what on the ban cars, all those kind of only Kojokro mehu Cancer Road market, mehu there our friend then in Crawford, baby my what ton like tilapia, those things are checking.
So it's already there and you want to improve it.
Yes, so that all the other stores around then one point or one so boboy. No chede thriving nan or baka baba taxi baba trotro no so or pa on so be stay 24 hours. That is the miss economy no ono na Malaysians na foreign then Singaporeans na didn't wear my one krona no. There is no magic pill. A drubi anywhere bafa obo solve the unemployment problem. Abanumpo on to create enough jobs for all these youth. So we have to find innovative ways, and Mahama's 24-hour economy is the most innovative thing I've ever seen. Because I could London says the thing in London now is London is a 24-hour economy.
But the comprise is not too wide.
It's not wide. No, London for what shall see baby. If you say that problem no is into me, yeah. And yet the end that we are muyambo from an world bro. Ebinime school 5 years when you do.
That's the challenge we all have, not because of not because of a particular regime. Probably the way the academia
regime is say I've tried to keep it neutral.
No, of course, but yes. I'm saying from academia, no, clearly, Ubedia dance this has been a major concern for every Ghanaian. So because it's one of the major concerns, regardless of party, regardless of class, the issue is we need to find innovative solutions to fix this problem. Because one, youth unemployment, or two, it's going to be a security issue if we are not careful. There are places like Aswanum now, they warrior, Sikagare, warrior. People are, it's not that they warrior from Abono. It's out of desperation. Yen impenyufone ya disappoint one. Ejuma na nkodi ye money yanye. It is about time I yen na ye batina table corridor. Na ye bi say ye hu there. What is the solution to this massive youth unemployment? 1.4 million was youth are unemployed. Can you imagine a country with that? You can never go forward. We are 67 years post-independent and Amobwa. And to Ghana po ya am Rwanda and Kokra because the Chronala way the 67 okay the 70. 70-year-older and a 67-year-older what ambo bre umbo from our bre. It is an indictment on all of us, and it's incumbent upon us to fix it. It is Papa Mahama Banoka the 24-hour economy. I have lived that 24-hour economy. On you be no see. Intimate 16 hours now ya mukwe. First 8 hours or it's a one more 10 cedis an hour. First 8 hours now 10 cedis so. The next 12 hours or 4 hours about one more time and a half. Into 15 cedis.
The next 4 hours in or double or 20 cities.
Professor Grace.
Into me calculation, minimum order me and Ejuma this week. Let me dinner the Miska medical school fees, medical rent. Into 24-hour economy, Obiara, Okade, Onye Papano, Nani Pocono, one or pray politics. So beyond the
24-hour, what are the other two major reasons? I use the two John Dramani Mama.
Oh, Nama Papa Muhammad, one, his or your Biokita experience. And say, Ere Ejumebi, Nedu baby na wajin sema. The best person is Obia Waye Bida. The best person that should the most experienced person and Namubwa because only no ni mejuman Waye Bida. And President Mahama in the whole of Ghana is the only one poised and only one ready. Not only that, also no experience, no also almost everyone we know or anyone in politics today. Why assemblyman da? If the assembly why rise vice president why be president until there is no aspect of Ghana politics that papa no ontnemo onyim until yer kaka for bia awo ejuma na ejuma no obi aba wa be say ejuma na erefo bi ma wa be fixa e be fanyimpa na ma na so no ye driver's mate na ono de ono po de car no ntinemu o ye mate na car no ro accident but when tumpo one friend driver and driver car yo accident o wie no also driver ami get driver's license for car na mam na mon drive another nyimpa na ono why ye ejuma ni bi why a president to do nankasa we lessons what it entails to be a president. And when you are in a crisis, which of these two people will you call? Mr. Asama make a devoid of politics, and the minister that mean politics. But America there, Asama room, Asama yet say oba dayan kuma wona ye hu there. Bebanya manedru no, yem fama yimpana okita experience.
So that school of thought or more issues of trust with the coming back of NDC through John Mahama. Then I'll catch him.
Oh, Mama catch on any day. Says Yano, ye dum pempen subia, young Yamano, or ye chede, Bibiara say.
A ginsem.
Why ginsem cry? Inti woma, yem fanyim pana, on no bottom why, and after all, no, over 4 years and amobwa. Oba no obese 4 years, nemehena. The next 8 years and ye bottom yankasa yashim, them ye benya dajer, ye dashim, ye would osimesi on both sides of the aisle, NDC and PP as I'm American you. Ye bottom yaton.
But at this point, you're thinking that
at this point, he's the only one poised for the job. Who else? Obimam one example of Obia Okita more experience than Papan. Now I am a don't put the Orban so yana kutin obeyo. Ordinary a vice Professor Naana Jane no experience besia. I just came from a conference in Kigali, Rwanda. Paul Kigami also no chrono say na wo ye wo na nuanu mokunkum wo na ekuna yiro mbano. Wo wie no na chrono wateto apansam. And the only way he knew how to fix it the odin besiafo because onyimde odejumani shebesia nsa besiafo no obeye ni nyina we
Grace I used to that
ampara once no twemos mo Rwanda and the why
e about so
Papa Mahama na some
NDC
the next president
candidate for Isika Doketa no what is one of the initial comments there are Koseka the name is Koseka is that correct? I'm more advocate for
the energy sector, electricity sector.
So what's happening there? More findings in there. What are we going? What times are we going through?
You're not going through good times. So I wouldn't be the press release be by. I mean, wouldn't say any near Messi Cornenko. The electricity subsector of the energy sector. No. I mean, low shedding in near Ecoso. But I saw the president saying that he acknowledges the challenges and they are ready to fix it.
So you're fixing it, with your vast experience and knowledge. Would you say at this point, generation of financial?
Financial generation in terms of financial. Once they be a betina hakase, men fancy ama weti for me betina hakase. When it comes to electricity, na you were 3 a year bema a load curtailment aba, technical problems, plants cut down. Nesa man. Financial issues. Yenye sika ento. Fuel and capacity issues, lack of machines, plants be generate the more den pa you too technical any lack of capacity, but financial there you should be able to resolve it. Sikasem there because your plants no you will be creating me be a Ashanti region as in a Mary whose name has changed to TK1. So I mean these things once it's money, the government should be able to resolve.
Do you see something coming in that sector? Say, who analyze this situation? Say, this is coming, so we need to prepare in terms of finance.
Finance. I say, crack was a meeting. He came up and said we need more generation because of all the factories that are springing up. We see it's Mississippi high-rise buildings. We see they be more pure. I used to say that we need to have an electricity audit of the country, a plan. Because if you have an electricity audit and a plan, then when you are going in for capacity, you know what you are going in for. Because as time goes on, your hydro, yes, you see a ton and saying I'm an boying. But because some over dependence during this time, ocean levels never from kakaka. So there is really the need for yenya electricity plan.
The baby out, ECG board chair, assurance in few weeks. These matters.
As long as they get the money, if they're able to regularize.
So in a few weeks, is as long as they get the money.
Yes, because we have capacity. Unye sika de beto fuel no. Na cash waterfall mutimi hihye ne mutimi ye mo collections. Na sika bi e hihye baby bia mutimi yi but say 200 million na e Ministry of Finance we men hu say ne ye ya electricity money be kwa akodi Ministry of Finance ba akodi.
Mo pensioner
entisa. Yes, of course. You see, your pencil, the near no cramponi say all the presidents, many America, mini say, Ahuchire be ba or mutimi ekase young order crude oil through Ministry of Finance with Abansika. What am I say? His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Diono because and why chairman of NCA not a regulatory process nothing. It is only the request no commander. The first point of call to be fair regulator and say as an independent in the sector na yen yehwe sector no so no yen interrogating man say what they are requesting no if it is true he just calls the finance minister and they buy cargoes of crude oil because he always said it would not be good say you will lose share the moon still na amount for home bechere or further. So the same thing with His Excellency Atamil, the same thing with His Excellency Kufo. So I mean truly they had a way of making sure say sika wo hwaye de be ye adwuma no electricity Ghanaian say nya the required power.
Okay, so any comment on what Professor Akayana
no, but took us a 24-hour economy now say local 24-hour
no, also reduce your economy localized 24-hour economy
be reduced because there are amalgamation of all the local areas in the Bay national. You can't say it's a 24-hour economy one crank one and I will come no 24-hour economy if it is going to be
voluntary.
It is. You see, the way as a 24-hour economy, the way.
But you believe in it?
I do. I mean, I believe in 24-hour economy 100% because me matambo chida. I believe in 24-hour economy, and I believe we say 24-hour economy no eboboa because you see I'm to a matome shop moon my betana. Otemasiu. By the time I make coffee, not about 7. Most shops are closed. Me buy into matum because some no kind saying ofan colana won't send baby into matum. Me bu. But thank you run the 24-hour economy. I'm free happy me coffee could be me could be in a matna hotel maybe at 12 midnight nama coffee. But about 7 now, over your area will be out to turn a shop na over here na aka won kwampo na se wo susu de wotum na wo den ukofi inti no 24-hour economy ne de me gitum pa me no de me gitum me ya advocate for 24-hour economy nyene. I always wish that you be a 24-hour economy. And it shouldn't be like every time you be in decentralized Accra. For the 24-hour economy to work, for our economy to run, it is the whole of Ghana that you are doing 24-hour economy. So within your own area and everywhere.
That's why I said localized 24-hour economy.
It is 24-hour economy. It's not localizing the Bema national. Yes. It should, every place should be 24-hour economy. On a clock, Kawanka filling station and count. What I say, what's the marketing and everywhere, even the tailoring shop. Ese omutimi because nipa woni e ma hihye sometimes we do fie no ese okokogye atade anka odi beko baabi na traffic achewa na bibia wantimi anko
cause time wapon
but eno so kra be create employment because oye 24 hours obefa more people inkrofo be pama de mo because means 24 hours wo ho amatade bi mentuma bi da wa me de be contem yes na wa pama mami obenya time apam enye se wo be da me because o mre me kaye ko president kofo ayi me ma me Teresa wu ya ye ko na me ntema me de ko ayi sim stress no wa anya ne ntam ye de ba Kaiser King se mi nsusu na eche me otemase na eche me se wo ko fa obi de na ode bre me nti na eche me nti na se se ye san de ko back ne tetentema ni nyina na ye san apam ye 24 hours and then we na se me say 2 hours na wo de pam ye but senke 24 hours amini how because over 24 hours anyway ni night shift for aba yet tentema no betimi apam so truly 24-hour economy runs everywhere wapon wadwuma wo pese wo to nsuo wo nsuo asan wo fie wa man tamu dru baby a wo to nsuo ni ato shop no because you run it 24 hours so I don't think how anybody should say 24-hour you for politics in 24-hour economy will help abroach we ye adwuma 24-hour send you sika na nwumre kwa nwumre no emu sika no mu odu chen de obeye na nopa in the 24-hour economy de me believe say esese ye nyina ye som ni ye na boa Ghana
Nana Jane to Akosua, thank you beba discussion proper cozy Patriot is saying MPP parliamentary candidate Adentan.
Cozy be me kwa mami. Na me kwa so atu. O jam ka jinsu obeto mi ntimi nkofi.
Na say o fi wa Adentan na oba ko so airport. Na ba ko cantonment.
Na ba ko so kra so wo krom bo.
Property owner. Me charity for.
What's it saying?
Yeah,
on says Sikado, a choir prof show me the first 2020 says sign it here dear. A horrible tea.
I caught bits of it now.
AK-47 25.
Oba be si opese o ye yi.
Bajo makozi
I'm say
me makozi mra se meka.
Be se prof akasa otie ye.
Anya kura. Ya wo mama ye nya yi. Fa bi kire no no we.
Okay, so Kozi
I wasn't listening to like God in the studio. Studio now or can local economy.
Yeah, local economy. Yeah, I
missed.
Okay, Prof, me pay attention.
So I think discussion is on.
No, so can me busa constituency bokode.
Oh, boko. Boko patron. Message name.
Okay.
Michia with you for na dental for especially.
TBBA settle bit ma afasiti no.
Oh yes, I'm here. The battle is still the Lord's.
I see. Now so tease.
Why na
I know the na bebusa. Debbie.
Honorable Ramadan.
Nana. Maniko.
I don't know if I will quite never no Ekosiisen. I mean now this year unim MP. That's an indictment on the not knowing who the MP is. But say I love her support for me and a little mischief along the way.
Yes, now person localize 24-hour ni bino.
Na me person make be mo me about 24-hour economy na I struggle to understand it because in Chechemuno sometimes it's like a aspiration we but when say nipa na all can 24-hour economy no onya fofo oba be muda onya ne 4 years and a Ghana for say abroso into be more for can count and na me in fair be mo. And some of the questions that come up, and when I'm having many maybe no doing come more 24-hour economy, I want to understand what he has here saying because I want to understand it. I think the last article I saw was on 24-hour economy. It wasn't even about Ghana. It was the UK who said their 24-hour economy was struggling. I'm saying, why is the UK actually saying that their 24-hour economy has literally collapsed? But ubisa Ghana for omoka 24-hour economy. Question is answer. Now, obi are going to mentia nurse for allowances. And to mentia doctors for car. And we ejuma be 2-3 years. And they were discounted. I mean, whose salary are discounted? You're discounted here and your muka. How do you offer 24-hour economy What you are saying? Because even on the normal 8-hour work shifts, aqua 12-hour work shifts, Ghana hano. And for ejuma on their basic impono, they didn't get their salary. Until how do you promise this? What do you want to say? Say okay, one of the things are a boa or no so not buying. Yes, say we nya global crisis yenya ama yen asanya kwe chikakra in terms of how fast we wanted to develop. Into 24 no obey the same because only crisis bukrano basic salary of doctors went to mintia. Nursing allowances went here. Teacher training allowances went here. Into be 24-hour economy. And then we message you on a platform. Teacher nibi or say or tiana nakuma because the embarrassment and as a frustration and fame. It will be no to me for be say bomebusia unimsa. Madam Fubini who to meet China on cut down. Here call lunch what you got. The whole day no audio. Who is say then how so this was school days so on can't show zoniska but you can see say bibihano into ubi say man say oh baby o feel hoye den kakra into unye bia no hoye den no so you can imagine obia no or what passion for teaching or going to teaching only for allowances to be cancelled and also bia or passion to be a doctor. And when it comes to doctors, teachers, nurses, but make us say I would wish they get the highest pay in Ghana. Teaching is not easy. Doctors, so under the circumstances, is improved over time. Is not that easy. But when to me, and basic idea we are, Avians also nipanin be juma opa onda.
So your issue is that when you are the pain, when to me and to Sanamo,
when to Anamono, when you global crisis, when you no crampo, when you global crisis, no crampo, when to me your basic salaries. Into 24 no much no. Me ubi so bia. And ya when watch it for to me koton watch anajo. I'm saying Ghana Health Services grabs original na beans after 1 a.m. 2 a.m. Bare problem. The food, yes, you want food vendors to sell all the time, yes. But if you can't tick the basic boxes, how do you promise 24-hour economy? Because
so your box is not taken non-payment of allowances.
Oh yes, it's basic because if you can't pay basic allowances and salary, and then our promises say obey 24-hour economy, that will boost opportunities for people to get work to do. How? Because basically, it will affect public sector. Government businesses will be
some government businesses
absolutely
should be affected.
So will he be able to pay?
Yeah.
Will he be able to pay? So we go back in time and look at the data and look at the experiences people went through. And the answer is no. So if that experience is there, there's a big question mark on what is being promised now. Into me about 24 economy, I won't elaborate because and I mean so main per se me de beha me home because that's your policy.
Or a difficulty understanding the concept and as a because I'm here to say free association lead now
so there's a concept of governance, there's a concept of leadership, and when somebody comes to the position, you get to tell who is befitting of it, right? Inti waba pain wabetsna kunya no so pain obetsna kunya no so no be min kai adepotia or promise. Unlike MPP government, they promised that they were going to ensure free education for all at the secondary school level. They promised a stable economy. They promised industrialization. They promised increasing the threshold of actually social protection against for the vulnerable people. These are the things that MPP can.
Because who are MPP? You kind of too much off.
But not me
2016, 2020.
Atamils was one-time health premium. Okay, that was what he campaigned on in 2008. One-time health premium. Mekayeno ena oba bemu ena Atamils training kwa. But even so no, na be the chair at the time no. Sanka Atamils into manya kwa sanka no eso yemano. Because that was one policy that I remember. It's the only policy that was articulated that went into my head. So I don't remember.
So 2016, 2020, none of the manifestos. Anna BB.
You mean 2012 and 2016 for the NDC?
No, I'm saying 2016, 2020 for the NDC.
2016, I remember it was the Usain Bolt. Minimum say policy oh no ma opeja ne nsako show 2016 opeja ne nsako show na wa whistle no aka ide bi keke no ababa say that was a no in kai policy. I remember he was very vibrant in the actions near the 2020. The most I think would I say the loudest policy was the Okada thing. Okada, okay, some
regulating the front
of Okada. It was part, and it was the core message. Just now, now Okada. Now people even say, Okada for more also it's a large, huge constituency. Then they can turn their fortunes in elections. But let's look at the data when it comes to Okada and the challenges. Let's look at how regulating them, helmets, any basic in traffic. Look at the injuries they sustain. I think the Pape or that road safety, I know if it wasn't him, there was a data about 3,000 plus people getting injuries over a certain period riding on motorbikes. And no accidents, no. You're losing a limbo. People lose limbs. Either say one half neko and say one half neko. So I didn't even see how that could be a major conversation. And mind you, this is somebody who has been home for 7+ years. All you have to do is think about one policy that resonates with Ghanaians. One, in 8 solid years, Bakwa Wabeka. In Kofod na edi omachin to mean chechemu. And even if you believe, say, you've benefited from 24 economy in a developed country, now you're developing, now we are doing the basic building blocks. No? Basic building blocks, no buy a car went to me and buy new. Basic salary went to me into when it comes to 24-hour economy. Mine, I think, say, just say, beyond one casa be chemu near TSA, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't understand it. I'm not convinced by it. But I think, say, the questions would be valid and questions would be asked repeatedly. Did you pay your teachers? Did you not cancel allowances? Did you not justify cancellation of allowances? Teachers, nurses, one cancel. Now cancel, then our boss say who promises said the same teachers and nurses you're going to run a shift system. Now run a shift because was an okofisca way. Now sumo minor yejuma. Cancel or cancel salary near Charles said now then I'll be to me they cancelled it. So let's not pretend say it's an opportunity to say but we know who is coming, we know what he supervised, we know what he did not to do, we know what he cannot do, we know.
Prof, so which one of them the big push Prof, the big pushing was more time now. The big push by manifesto is the big push. I think something to that effect.
The 24-hour economy is not even new. It was in our 2020 manifesto. And it was to push all these youth into employment. Brofo is saying another idiomatic expression. Also, the eyes cannot see what the brain does not know. I don't know when you are dreaming when you're born. The brain does not know, so how is the eyes going to see it? So she won't understand it no matter how you explain to her. Obi otidamno wako school abrochiro me sure. Me sure the number now obo hono you won boko school abrochiro. Me sure the number from an Indianum no abrochiro one will train one from on the 24-hour economy. Otinagana ha or ye besia or bewo. Ovia or onusubo wo ni nuanom wa ha enye na ye maami ne papa no wonyi bi no on de yenja hwen wa ha na yen kanche the 24-hour economy na awo ekwa abrochire ehu no ekwa British subway British London for friend and tube station ekwa tube station enhu there worry ye juma 24 hours wa abrochire into that is why etum enye sky holidays were UK Etinagana ha. Shouldn't you want the same for Winyanum na Wawahana? Shouldn't you want the same for them? That is what I want for my people in Ghana. And one so one papa na one mami, 1 year politicians, 1 world politicians, 1 year sikano. One so other men yeko wun wa brochino, yezi biba. Yen krom na yen so yede boa yen bo from na worry brain. Inti said ha na wo enya holidays e kwa abrochi. And no fan etumo for buses echo around Eshe a friend and tourist centers. I'm talking about the UK. You can go to the O2 in the middle of the night. You can go and see movies in the middle of the night. The time being you were about to in your train, buses or them 24 hours and
Night bus.
Night buses in you are. Anna Akobio, I could you win your Edru Wukroman or there Prebima Wukroman. As no.
Is a policy about traveling. The policy about traveling.
The policy is about the 24-hour economy, and I'm telling you what the 24-hour economy is doing for other jurisdictions.
So, Prof.
With Nyansafa, what your corona, what abruchino.
So, Prof. The Akosua Manu.
Adenta, and Bafroma Wadento, when you do you. Bafroma Wadenta.
That's what Obusa said. That's what Obusa.
So, it's incumbent upon her as a woman. Besia ewa bedai besia jama usupe ebia awu wombano. It's incumbent upon her to want to friend and employ these kids.
There were no women.
And the only way to employ these kids is by the 24. Can I finish?
No, you cannot.
The 24-hour economy.
Yama Prof, when you will be
about na wadwe nankasa na onye correct into enter.
Debbie, Prof.
The eyes cannot see what the brain does not know.
With the Prof, with the.
I think I've just been insulted.
No, it's not insulting. It's a dramatic expression.
Prof, with the Wadaruma.
It's a figure of speech.
Okay, so good. Say what me on say, but I know what to was a crack because the mimics are in Tiasia. And so, you need my vote. You don't have. All right, say or dream.
Yes, but
that's the same. That's the same. Ubisa in Chechemupe. This is the posture. Unim nyansa.
But also
now, okay, let me just say something.
But or your fair unim your can. The first question is that
okay.
Or say the unyamia ya duma ye na ya kwa bonti akosua no.
No bi nko ya.
O de mebo patriote. Or say adentina enye implementable ewa. Sound of person reasons why you think that those things on your previously ain't me any one say. Me raise issues about energy, about security, and about demand on the 24 hours.
Absolutely.
So if you have any issues, I will raise that. Then what magazine must say? Misro can cry because when me
I say misro me I am she because this is the same attitude no more 2020 with every policy they attempted to explain. Ubisa nchechemwa dispassionately ubeka no otwi mu say
just a honana
no atubo irrespective of who you are talking to. Sabi me share no program so that and your professor and a doctor them say nimdie ekosro. There's a modicum of respect or I would be more be a sebi unshi under the crowd in it said so. But it's neither here nor there because they musuni or mobile into I'm not surprised by it. But the assembly chair mekain say obia nursing and teachers allowance went to mintia. Obia doctors
a reason for not paying say omuka say ye gidi say ade ne ya kwansi die enti nipa do na betimi abam amamanya kwanya
okay inti ede na ye dey aba yetimi tua sa allowance.
That's your strength.
Absolutely. So we commend it now. We've been quiet, respectfully say wo abanum at the time omutwe mu na onya justification no de na onya oba wa abadaye. Where was the conversation that yen show na bi mu ye mo browafu
enrollment in Kosoro?
Yes.
Because you can hardly nipa do ntime mbem.
And also you whatever their reasons are, they didn't pay them. They didn't see the need to. They justified it. In fact, edu baby kwampa okache yen say Ubekaya, I forgot the exact year of, I think it was 2015. I would Ubekacha and say, what promise ya in terms of in the deadline for doing so. Promise bium because he sure said Ghanaians are tired of his promises. And I'm going back to the conversation we just had last month. I believe he said it came up. It didn't come say I don't think it's intentional for us to experience what we're experiencing. And the challenges had always been about payment, more or less. That was Tuesday. I believe the Deputy Minister of Energy,
now board chair
of, he doubles as the board chair of BCG, was categorical in his statement, say, crisis now you're facing will end in a matter of days. Now, my say nipa 3 eti ho now be so almost say, are you experiencing these challenges? It very well might be say if they are all not in the same area, but I will say, oh, no experiencing once a week. But I say on the whole weekend no ni. But I be dear catch say they are okay. They minimum. But Mr. Rosa make say I'm not experiencing it now. As that is affecting me. I know people who didn't experience it. Me, the worst I experienced it was in March. But April, being experiencing, and I may experiencing in March. But they communicated the challenges to us. In 4 years, we didn't have power, and we've had certain challenges, and the government has communicated at least to let us. Somebody who say, okay, these are the challenges you are facing, but it's not going to be long term. And I because it affects a lot of things. But even when we are having these challenges, Kasa Crown Kofua Kano, Sebe, I think it was the silence at a point that was irritating to people because time off. And sometimes you question and you tell say, oh, gas line, there's a trip, and they didn't even anticipate the trip happening. Of course, technical faults happen all the time. No indication, na light be aso. I feel spark car and go. It happens. Ubeka say manufacturers should have warned you ahead of time or something. No. It happens, but the challenge is how quickly you're able to resolve it. And yenim say, sir, 3 to 4 months challenge, and for some people, it's just been a matter of a month or 2. It's not going to be a 4-year challenge. Okay. It won't. But the attempt is not what is going to put the lack or the inability to explain what a 24-hour economy is, because basically you are being told that say a 24-hour economy to experience it, way to find that now will be appreciating it more. People don't need to travel. Who here say to coin and say what today can say. TV so people experience life through even watching the arts, videos, TV shows and everything. Okay, so they have enough common sense. Don't insult the intelligence of Ghanaians by sitting here saying, "Uni nyansa." It wasn't the same. You don't speak for me. Uni baby amako. I know the initial order, so you can't anticipate where I'm going. But it's important that because behind the console, no, and you cozy now. Nene kasa o. Ghana for now ni omo kasa. Tu kasa omo. It is in direct response to the people who even might say now who can be who say who vote but Kasana Wakano Prof I guarantee you say it will take people's minds away.
Prof, but let's not believe it.
The youth are suffering.
Okay, so okay, so Prof, okay, the point is, fortunately for all of us, I insist that, especially in these times, measured,
we are very measured
in what we say on radio, because in all humility, attaining professorship, we are
very measured.
Yes. Okay, so yambra back. Conversation.
Because more better.
Yeah, and what happened in your party? UPS.
I know you need you. Yeah, mommy, Professor Naana Jane Ajiman. The running mate for Dramani Mahama was outdoors. For me, as a young politician, as Besia, as a friend and professional, and I mean a politician, I'm about politics. I mean, it was one of the best moments of my political life, or my academic life in general, because ehwe credentials, ehwe achievement, ehwe baby and maame no onye na ebodri na. And more importantly, as an African woman, glass ceilings na maame no will break. She's a first of many. Inti young politicians and who be the ma. We are so enamored, we're excited, we are happy for her for breaking all these glass ceilings because it makes us and a young girls are Ghana catching one day and 13% pen over to work politics in carefully in Naana 67 years after the fact and in Benufoncotin and you want to in Bessiafun in Bessiafun Power Yabama 13% penal. Damn 13% and call them Kayan funded P. They Bessiafu P. Young girl be a Oringen or more constituency on Sumudo or Moso Dache, me pedemia president and I me pedemia vice president and now also me pedemia member of parliament and the Martin and the Dayakoyeno. One by him Bessiafuni na ya reassured. One by him Bessiafuni would they you to me ya one man Bessiafun would they ya shame. One man Bessiafuni would they Ghana or Conanium because yet I should be seeing and so what's it as I should be seeing and so as I should be seeing in our one sir. A titi besia, a titi crony na.
So it's a vote for John Mahama or a vote for
it's a vote for John Mahama for making that great decision because it takes a man called from one he for she benina otimesia for one place to pick a woman who is competent to pair with him to come and run the country because John Mahama will be the next president of Ghana and Professor Naana Jane will be the next vice president of Ghana. Between the two of them, no, nyoma wa kwa chill Ghana nyina, yen free SHS and wafome waribri, yen economy wa tanky, yen wa friend and yen all the indices, financial indices, Moody's na Fitch na there was there yeah junk status and yen dollar now says yeah we could almost or it's almost 14 now. The dollar that was supposed to be arrested is now 14. It brenna yer breya kotaza sikana yenye biyen fonton and Shina waba kronumun in sooner papa na yenye binumuno dunso na waba no say yenye the minyamani nyina President Mahama in his friend infinite wisdom no hunde odo di besia or the family because to the mama ken as the juma she besia nsa as that she pushing nyina wansa into President Mahama ni visionary leadership no one ono no more peke mama no into between the two of them the army the warishim kra 7 months obabara oba the monko febieni e the Ghana besha wansa ni ya wankasa we hu difference I will be making only for you
Naana Jane they see no the addition yenye film na me dey say ohwe wakenkan nsem bia pie film aba ebinimu nsem ni bini say na wana ni din dan fonyi we dey bin see that say yakopa obi on tomorrow ni mate the ensusu so dey benya wa amanyo say abato so ene asitene
o ma hima ma mencha weti efo bi o memom de ene me kan o sister station ba akoso say me event ne de me feel say na ehun hia.
Also necessary.
Yes, because nipa na ye almost omo pa ne hontum. Hwe ye outdoor akola because we foforo. Obi anim ya wa akola to ho. Ye gi ni kire se akola ketwa no wa ba wiase oye hoho. Ye ma mi wonye hoho.
In politics oye hoho.
Onya hoho 2020 no
But you saw a different person yesterday?
No, we see the same person. Please, mama mane nyete said they were your hoho na. Debbie, mammy, why in politics on your hoho down? Moya ne say na make a job. Moya ne say yes, I'm on man crime my name yen self. Mammy no jina hono you be any more meru. What am I say? Who should ni profile or ya ni mod why ye near ma? What say near you can
so.
Yeah, but break ceiling no. The first female to be a VC of a university in Ghana. What I say? First VA, ono no breaki kwan na ma be ye VCs. Ono no free one ye be fa tech na se o ma fa legon. What am I say? Intima mo outdoor kwan, mo outdoor bia ye nimu no. As if so ye novice bi ne ye kwa outdoor no. Me hu ne se wo so wo ye friend ne say opposition. Na se ye ka prudence ni ade asa ne ma we say ye sika. Ebetimi aye bibi wakọ high hall my billboards ni ade nipa ba time mami were a fan or UCC as first female. Everybody was happy and everybody knew her. One Rebecca so a novice. I one on a year one your friend 2016 or say 2012. 2012. Onona or your moderator. Obusa very relevant political questions. Economic questions. Ono NSA Minister for Education. Ni ho amasem da. 2020 obeye running mate to Excellency John Dramani Mahama. 20 your friend is 24 years fan. So e dey be na ye foforo.
Ti unjin tum de course.
Dey be no de say event no. Me dem feel say one maybe some ye press wire.
That's true.
Yes, for her to talk to the media. They opposition. They say, "Oh yeah, events we and they say,
fanfare.
Yes, so it's me, yeah, dear. It's me. Obi our government mu yes, I want no. They don't understand. But what the person will say? Yes, when you break, o person will try say when you break. Oh yeah, press. Me them fools ye be you know ye de na call press. What she does best and they say you busan the question we ye no and no ne best because we teach any. What man says ne may be be expert be obi aye ye de aka no ho. No but ye busan the questions we ye no ne press na ye den I interact. And na say ye de ne be kudwom grassroots. What man say na yakoyi ne de na mai queen mothers ni ade
a BT handless no.
Media meaning say handless in a year yo. Say why na year because near my baby no boy say don't get your crab can baby. Say I didn't know automatic. As a so mo year juma. A juma ni binu. And let me feel you be so catch him na ya. I dear ba kwa NDC for lucky a stakeholder consultations.
Oh, yeah, mom. And no na ye ne
NDC
stakeholder consultation you mummy no.
Okay, near the People's Manifesto stakeholder round. There
are key stakeholders. Me time I'm more curious. There are key stakeholders. I want to know more kasa. A fagene. Yes, especially media. Media phone be break complaining send this in one kasa.
Hey.
Yes, media want by me be complaining. Media obu ho kan na me free we no wan fi me na me hwehwe we na me hwehwe ene meka.
So in adoring such a personality.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes, they be no do no ma me no adore no ho dada. So I don't know what they were doing really. She has adored herself. The first female vice chancellor of a university major. Enya university kwanchen major university. Why ye juma you were UNESCO why ye say you Ocean the Sylvia Fulbright scholar. A master and was I, you know.
Asempa FM.
One kasa, what I don't more munyanity said you know, what was a man or casada. Walk kasa when in a platform or kasa with force. Me personally. The first that was she, I'm catch him say one of the most intelligent brains I have come across. And I was very honored to say it was coming from her. Because me as a certain level an astute person.
Onim de oye. Yenya no nya de oye.
Yenya no nya de oye so tia na yenya ya correct no. Because politics yan fa anwo bia. The person wo ye no ye ma ne nye. Otema say as if we say she preach she knows what she wants, she knows what she wants to do. Onya kola o. O kasa hu so o kasa with force. Onim de oka. So all this ceremony, me on say obi wo ho say wo chaperone na wo manem fa ne best mba out.
Because onyo no ana wo da.
Onyo no ana da di jano. On ka de opeso wo ka, otia ye be correct no. Otia nyina ye hwe no. Ghana hwe no. Se nyame ya adoma ye betimi ehu no as ye maame a wo be boa ame ye Ghana akoso. Me for me bibia ye oba na ye me fe.
You should have been targeted.
Yes.
The media specific
yes. Media especially no because muko ye nyina anka media anka story na way. Come kwa ye fanfare no meja no. But so if you come to the media
na press conference.
It is not, you see on my sanity. It is not press conference. Press conference or there be. As I say, ye press worry.
Yes, you meet with the media.
But too much attention here and Koso the party no in terms of flag bearer.
They be the flag bearer and they saw no. Adek Baumia and Nanado, who never Baumia won't pay in Janado.
Opie still.
Yeah, Opie still. I'm no crane, Yacha and Nanado.
Opie still.
What I'm saying is those days, no, a lot of things a chain and Nanado. Economy, you know, your programs, or your way, or you on one or walk. Ultimately, what you're not going to say into the same thing they should allow you to do on flow. What did I mention?
Not the fanfare.
No, at this moment, you know. Oh, sometimes a cramp on us out to say, a come with you now. The sorry, I'll design and quan out around why is she? Yes. They be a better now. She design as so come with you. Now, who are buffo? When baby says, now crowd will be seeing. Yeah, there's here Tom in Runa, the way Beffy and Mammy drew one to be went to a maid for a year fee, no so shut a dear show. Akoko shame K and Nasa Louis Vuitton and na bibi or bag a good tower a shine as and ketua a ye cuckoo clo we what I say Chanel a dear now they show for how far. Ain't no, I mean, in for baby now what castle. Ombeba be yes ye niaje but truly ombeka say what is going on intimidate me believe this say omo mama me flow onye ni paketwa so we hwe ni CV and me meka say me penase I have encountered them in na ko places ye di nkomo ya sere otema say but ye nyen ma no nye free a dien wo peso ye me say some person me ko hu na me business say dien o ye nya no peso ye o de peso ye because I mean omo ye tu we anyway omo mienu nyina e beba bebu man se nyankopon e mako nyankopon ni si
maybe no peso omo kire de woni mu a o de bebo
na si dada ye nim de woni mu obi a wa ye vice chancellor atete nkola ofiso te nkola atete easy.
Your friend the right of passage.
Oh, but your right of passage, I can't pen and pessimist film. Right of passage, you call him. I mean, you're writing a passage, dada. You see, obey ye, Quran, you remain right of passage. But no way, mammy, when you be out, and reaching or buy or bear crummy, baby, danity. What I say? Because on no crow by and near him, the chamber, Baumia by and near him, mammy, way chamber, because you are tinny din. The young colony na ye TJ na no poko agima din wonye ne nipa. Told them as it says we do politics ma. Ya fe na abeya do bibia do no for what? On share media fe. Ne media no hu because when they be carry testament no. Say mami mi ko share no ABCD. Yes. Okay, no at time omo yadi. How many people even had the time to watch?
And then baby I show
media no so be engage you.
Omo wachire. Omo timi kwa no nya direct access ni ho. Utimi bi kwa mango ba utimi nya direct interaction. Eno nipa sen na hwe. Yen kam ye be why no nipa sen enet na utivie na ahwe kwa media bi atwa no ne angle.
The access madam. Dey na betimi ya
majo mama. Dey na betimi ya aboa Ghana. Obinum kwa say scripted.
Because you know
that is the point. Ebinom see a trauma no. Let us see on why your ba me pesi e hu so
oba so betimi aye.
Your ba so be ne ba no MPA. Ultimately, oba na wetimi everyone UCC as vice chancellor no. Oba na wo ye prefect for Wesley Girls High School. So ultimately oba na wa hwe nkola miensa professor for wom, doctor for wom. Oye omo ye for. Yes. Sa oba no ye pesi omunyi na di enye se ba event o media say otimi pass media yi na okonanim because we be some question yes we be some me go through that we be some question we be some when I mean petty no e be ba ade no de den ka wo ye no o ti ase enti I mean these things no hwe me MPP and this they make catch on say they should go back to 208 the blueprint of Atamils how or adwuma the way I was share na niema when he was an underdog. Otemase ese so omutimi kwahwe sa blueprint.
Omure afie no.
the blueprint na Tamils de to ho no send ye Tamils winning side election but most people no maybe no money ho and then
complacency inexperience woman
there be complacency the sim because anka see edunketia honorable see edunketia enka se bese so mo ye adwuma no ye chairman but baby so na me ne nya adwen because wo na wo run troops me as general secretary CPP e kra ye number secretary ye baba be ye election a party ni ginam ni acheche general wo na we in charge of operations general ye say elections at my office ho we wra ho no we ye pie we wra ho no we ye pie we wra ho no we ye pie near flag bearer meetings eni nyina wo party headquarters ye mpene ma wo nkoye bibi wo ba bia the party is leading the campaign with the flag bearer
chairman no excuse bia
chairman no kasa yeah party dey say yenye nti ye ni numbers but ye was strategy ultimately say we say there were issues near the but there was strategy CPP there was strategy organization decides all and we don't joke with it ultimately nti chairman no baba be kasa asem no chairman wo no general mo na mo running troops nti wo na running troops na say asem we na wo ka then what has happened osuman crofo no mo nkwa na obie kwan no na obi mpese obekwa na it is key say yetimi hwe we nyina because you see and many panyimu bi kasa what see you see NDC cannot get it wrong. They cannot get it wrong. I don't know why he said that, but he said that.
We won't get it wrong.
What he say? He said that
NDC
cannot get it wrong.
We will not get it
and
wrong.
panyimu make us say well, you're very neutral panyimu.
We will not get it
Or
wrong.
say NDC cannot get it wrong. Okay, mami ka say bincho weekendi. Ne money be or me money be what politics. No, Mokache me said there was an election. It was UPSC. 25,000 people and a walk out motuaba. Whilst the MPP for no enyina empenyin for no no. NDC for empenyin for no. They were not there. Ama sosua the constituency no wan ko. Me mago de mekao. Ah odi misika ebre me. Mago odi mi misika na kwa akoye adwuma wo ho. Teze wo de meka wontimi ntua. Otemase.
Ba we de wonen ntema.
There be some person meka so odi sika na akoye nko wono anko ho a. Anka almost she was almost beaten by the police. Light to call off. And omo ye counting wie ye MPP ni akola no wa wene. Mama go nko na wo ho. Some person chom so de make them sika akoye politics.
So complacency is setting on the part of
that is the problem because aka mago nko a. Enye so ono na ka che mi o. Onkwala na omo work ground ho no na sending me information say ma hwa say ma esi. Na ye kra ye court because ye doom light and san omo county ade. Nti nka panyimu bi wo ho a wo gina mu a. Obegina o me ye encounter. O ti dem meche no. Mago oba besi abakui. Wa ye woman na yi de me asem nim se na obetua msika na man but enye hwe nyame wo de aye adwuma. O ti dem meche no. Nti no mago and the young ones told me say, "She, auntie nya mago a."
Okay.
A wo gina mu anka police for no kra ya abro.
Okay, nana me das ye besa ba yen komo so bad mamenkai adofo wonu we tie hwe nyina sina me adoma on the 1st of May 2024 40 days of observation for a year the late George Dako Nana Ampem Dako the first or command to fene ewo ekropon ekuapem tiesre adofo nyina se yenkota ebusuachi ewo PUC Park Old Salem ekropon ekuapem na yenkota on china fe ye papa ye offer 40 days observation ye nana George Dako Nana Ampem Dako the first yenkota na china yen ho hwehwe kama bio Daniel Wednesday 1st May 2024 8 a.m. venue near PUC Park Old Salem ekropon ekuapem o pese onya eye ehon popue bia na fre Kwadwo Bedu ewo 059 3923 566 059 3923 566 no etmini Kwadwo Bedu akasa yeto nsa fre adofo nyina se won betai ebusuachi bra 40 days observation for the late George Dako Jumtini Kese Ekosu Kozi na ɛyɛ ɔfɛ sɛ ɔbaa yɛda na di ɛwɔ the another major political party mu na ɔkeka nsɛm a ɔgyiri sɛ ɔbɛboa ne flag bearers ɔmunya akwanya na ɔbɛtumi ahwɛ deɛ ɛsɛ sɛ ɛde to yie no ato yie.
I think say outdoor, you know, and then me mommy or Tim in chain where he me mommy back me papa down for as you like to remind me. And the one many hopa because sometimes the truth can be very bitter. No credit to me yapa. But let me congratulate her. Well, is interesting say and as far as Ghana's history is concerned, you know, major political party, Oba as running mate. Makai, okay, Mrs. Rollins. Nana kwenye do yi nitiza nkopese odi party nini. Okay, but ene do magia to muze Oba to me. Oba kobiye. And I applaud her. Even here on Oshoi, I've been here and co-panelists have supported and as well encouraging me, especially in regards to Adenta. And it's nice to see say Mbabe certain spaces. And no say Nana ya kan Auntie Nana ya sometimes I get confused as to even address her. Me mama back up. Why the outdooring? A valid question. Bia na announcement no more 2-3 weeks ago because my first announcement let me say 3 weeks ago
yeah na me say Cape Coast na me something different
me na me say no because say 2020 no omo danedi e de ne kire 2020 was na whole production what say a lot went into it, the branding, the display, the delivery. We no meant to show the whole thing, but bits and pieces are me who you know what say teleprompter no baby omudi see you know she had to na so chiane no kind but it would have been perfect and can also show him directly. We wouldn't have known that it be quite na baby or all kind iffy, but it's all well and good. Politics is getting interesting. Say last year 2023 May and ye era John Mahama as flag bearer for the NDC. A year later and away in a running meet. Which is a Dr. Baumia Indu 1 year and sana obeda ne running meet. Or can be biswa name there or say me person me wants to make kind of dream, but I mean kind the her statement. Politics is about fighting injustice, hunger, hopelessness. In this fight, we don't need private armies, mercenaries, destructive ammunition, or in Ghanaian parlance, by heart talk or wanton ruining of hard-earned reputation. That is not politics. It is jealousy hoisted on cowardice. Na okansa no misi oh I say what can be a different kakra, but then her messaging went to target a certain section. One can the promotion of ethnocentric elitism masquerading as intellectualism, nepotism cloaked as know-how, weakness strutting as courage, and crony capitalism masked as development in freedom, shameless hypocrisy acting as objectivity. Now, there have been attacks. I don't repeat what he said, but Okambibi was very offensive. Nation, these are not the words that come from you. Okase, they are healing the nation. Now, I remember the heal bit was what I wanted to hear in her message. They casting aspersions just to get to power. And then
those aspersions, the realities are that.
It's well clearly we won't say about reality. We've seen here in the studio that people create their realities in real time. So I know the NDC it doesn't matter so you're a doctor or a professor, they'll bring you to a certain level or you to a line. It doesn't matter how well educated you are. Now,
Is that
which
fact or is
ethnic?
that
Which
not?
ethnic? Can I finish? Which ethnic group? And now all kasa form. Which ethnic group? Now all kasa form. Those were the red flags for me. And now there was something she also said that the statement was, John and I have decided that whoever contributed to the plunder of the country must be punished. This is not a threat, but a promise. We've never experienced the levels of greed, unbridled arrogance, and hypocrisy displayed by this government. Now, like just 2 weeks ago, there was a final. The case was, came to a finality. Tamaklo, Sedina, right? To the point where Interpol so I issue a for her arrest. She said also on the stage, so obey shrunku, sebe ono na odene who was running meat. E hono na miem sheme kakra because just 2 months. Okay, ne outdoor and it's just about a month ago. Video ne be pie na ahoy. Promising they say obey head of state.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Obey to me. Also, I guarantee you, he literally said he predicted.
But the man apologized.
Nasa apology no man yente na no asem. We guarantee interview that. We guarantee what in the voice will be so no crowd no try. But it's okay. It's okay.
He apologized.
Or say unbridled. Then. Me, I'm just looking at it in terms of what wouldn't it have been very profound for her to say, let's start now and call out said Nam say, maybe I will be on briefy and they'll be there to support her to face the law. That would have been very profound for me because she stated categorically, said they're coming to fight something together. Now, fine women coming into politics. Sebi, even as hard talking as she was, no, me to me say she was insulting, right? She was talking hard. And I say, grandma, make a grandma any DM because some of my mentors are her age. She's
addressed her as Professor Jane.
Professor Jane, but she's Pacho. I don't share a role, but you had the opportunity and you expose yourself. Let's let it rest.
No, let's not go.
Let it rest. Grandma is not insulting. It's not insulting. It's not insulting.
Let's go.
Okay, so let me do that. If it's offenselessness, the one a grandma giving respect to her as a grandma, no, is offensive to the person whose flag bearer calls the sitting vice president Jack Toronto. I know there ain't problem. But let me not digress. Let me continue.
Go back to Professor Jane now.
Pacho, so back to her. Okay, same way, no. It came back to said in Tamaklo. It comes back to several things that have happened happened under her watch. In fact, people have run through a gamut of make us say infractions. Obi pointed out say special needs school was shut down. So I'm not a minister. Education. Okay, said there was a serious scandal. National Service Secretariat. In her own words, okay, said na in Ferimpo. Her deputy also spoke to it. Over 20,000 ghost names. It was over 20 million Ghana cedis at the time. Anna Nkofo J salary from National allowance from National Service Secretariat under her watch. These things happen. People will raise questions. Inti eno or man paying dada science so say or the health sector bekane ho no ahweso, right? All these aside, no anka say eno na make us say na dey me say almost grandma insulting me mama paying ba kupoti ha. One policy statement or direction I be who say indeed there's something new. So what was disappointing was there's nothing new. What was evident was okay. What was it in Tokwanesi? Israel for Gaza. One of the biggest human rights infractions is civilians being used as human shields. Now human shields there were 3 levels. Baku voluntary, baku involuntary. Voluntary ne ye onwa beka say okay, ye kwako attack enemy base. right? But omom kwakwa attack no civilians in winning, so the enemy can't, or the opponent can't shoot at them or bomb them, because who bomb civilian are a problem. And I involuntary civilians no use them as a guard, and they'll be advancing towards their target. And who voluntary human shield, because clearly the agenda, which is no different from what they did in 2020, is literally make her like an arrowhead, directions, questions ni biya be banoso, so that JM no so not tenichia trying to get to the finish line.
That's how you see it.
That's how I see it, because her talking, not admitting that the challenges they had as well were real, not realizing that when you use the expression, so because a healer, say be heal no, so Ghana na yesa na yare na say Ghana no, I don't know how to.
That's a healing process. Maybe
it's a healing process.
There's a lot of mismanagement on the part of this current administration. But there's a lot of injustice in this current administration. There's a lot of unfairness in this administration. So, not to threaten, but to straighten every misdeed under my watch. That's it.
And as a misdeed, no, can a bit trace it back to a time, because you do not wipe slates clean. So if we are saying we are wiping the slates clean, then we'll give the same grace to the MPP. We will question the omoye ye be bisa say ono and unkofo bisa me say be meaning any problem, but me who say there's a certain agenda beyond here right now that protects their flag bearer. And untina sebi ye no human shielder eja
ona
mami pay mu a wako nenim hwe school a wako ne ade ne abegina on the speech where ma say kind no wa kind be ko mode
if you acknowledge that oye sebi mami pay mu oye professor and professor one cause what breaking ground can say what for the mama say onye mami odafo
that speech there's a team of people omotna say
because at the end
I'm not saying say
exactly at the end day so because me
sebi anka yehwemu ye anka the interjections are a bit too much. Let me land. Mr. Me the minimum say incoming. Insults, there were jabs, there were veiled threats. In fact, that snippet was extracted. Say only EC fellow about his own. If there are any issues with the EC, I think there's a way to even go about it.
But you also have to admit that
she's
political talk
is
yes,
but that's the difference we are seeking. Say anka obi awabada numpo no, there's a certain dynamic be a best sakakra. We put them in America. Me paying your tiaka say I didn't know any outdoor in any unveiling. But bottom line, a tough atonsium. And I don't think say it was necessary for it to even have gone the way it did.
Okay.
Being used as a human shield, just say what school do in nimpa. Look, share credentials no pa. But when you get into a certain political party, you can't help but toe a certain line in tea.
I see.
I wish her all the best, and I hope say the 2020, in terms of policy, sebi there was no cohesion, cohesiveness with their messaging. Me bonfire say it goes well. It goes well as far as realizing say they are not going to realize these things. But me fancy
your break. Mami try me home right. Your break pa. We have about 40 more minutes. It's your break. Yeah, but it's here.
Asempa FM.
Woman hene pamena sande. Woman hene pamena sande. Woman hene pamena sande. What can I say? What carry I want? Woman hene pamena sande. Woman hene pamena sande. Woman hene pamena sande. What can I say? What carry I want?
Well, yes, I'm trying to come on the show. I'm saying 5 minutes, 5 minutes after 6. Quickly, we've been joined by the Member of Parliament. Honorable Joe Gatti, good evening. I'm to say. Bibia ya kama.
But now, maybe if you answer. At the most, not the NDA if you answer. What's the NDC candidate? Was that now in a usual style? She's lying once again. Master, you election, or there are some court. Or there are some court in LMJ. Because court, but Chen Koro. You're filing your papers. The lawyer from Davis also, they filed out of time with a way make mistake. They are telling Van Davis the front. Let the matter be heard on its merits. Men use any as illegal as Ibiana for Bogu. But young court no one cast a me. Yeah, for High Court judges. Also, legal point of Van Davis always is. Also, it's all boy teacher, all what the cost for against here. Van Davis, if you can't send a business, me in Queen Quabu, or a Minya, the fact, me J. Memphis appeal. Yeah, my assembly of body. Me, the one before all agreed to me. One baby or court out the baby, and if he a file witness statement, or that file witness statement, Yimpa, obviously that's our more. Then we go and start. Well, that's what you get boxing. It's not about allegations, yes. Only one if you after file paper, I went to the file paper though. A pedestrian did but a constituency away jail and people filing crapo. Lawyer be able to be said or filing with liberty without liberty to apply. Nothing there. All chat. As some ways of parliament. 138. Tell me, we will not talk about your own door. Lawyers will me a son of from there. There was nobody prepared to give evidence because there's no evidence. Nobody did anything like that to discuss the what can't balloting job or police station and by 9 o'clock I knew my results. I thought that we had a system in place. What can we have? They can't be work. They give us they immediately come and give us the results. We knew our results immediately. It's some okay, yeah, there's nothing like that. And look, I never even went to the collation center. I don't go there. My boys were there. My boys, I talk about 2 or 3 boys in the party boys. Every day don't want to hope. Then Akosua before the election, about 100 cars. I will take for 400 cars.
Okay, so Honorable Gatti, and no crowd, Honorable Gatti Pajo, and your man, you know, Oreziwa, Dedikai, presence of armed AK-47 military personnel. Anna 2. Kania Edumia, the electoral officer was caught trying to change figures.
But that is the matter that you take to court. It's so simple. That is why you went to court. They can't give me a document. Since the first time I say, it's not only court papers and cards, the electoral commission someone can. It's the first time I said it. And before that time, I knew my results. I was not even in Electoral at the time. I was in Shama. I knew at that time we knew our results already. The results, chief, I went to the results in one cow. And the electoral commission will change figures. How can you change the figure? Every police station, your agent is there, my agent is there. They announce it to everybody, not one person. What can 1, 2, 3? People file us left to die. Fijai doesn't. The Fijai, people were police agents on both sides were teachers, command bishop process, NDC and NPP, they were all teachers. So what can Fijai? And I called my Fijai people. There's something happening in Fijai. This is how. The NDC people are teachers. We are teachers of secondary school, as bishop process. We are standing there. Nothing happened in Fijai. We didn't see any problem in Fijai. And why do I need to bring anybody into Escado? There are 13 police stations in Escado. I want every police station in Escado. Escado is my own ground. But I want every police station in Escado. And if I should stand today, I want every police station in Escado. So I'm tired of the lies. And ask her that she should bring a court paper. That what she's saying about this electoral constitution thing, has she ever said it before? Why did she add it to a process in court? It's a very serious matter. Not only can process in court. But in the court process, she never said it. On the she's a lie. She's always lying. And she should stop lying. Just for every place that she goes to, I'll call in and she can't continue lying like that. I will accept it. And then they give like it. But just don't continue lying. Everything is not true. 100 cars for promises taxi drivers. Offer come on water with got full of promises.
All right. Joe Gatti, and this also this Uchirimuno etimi about that's for that Professor Mark, just quick one
my honorable Joe Gatti, yes, and I think it's rather unfortunate. And it's very symptomatic of what we have been through in the Skadoketan constituency. Case in the court. Nankasa or a lawyer, already court papers. And he said, well, Nankasa po me who court that. And Tinara one baby that. And in some Oracan, minim as some Oracan. Second of all, or making insinuation. There, Miss May 100 cars. I mean, MPO. Onya me in a what the common fund what I shall miss him for 20 years. Onya me in a major 1 million cedis or dollars per constituency per year. Onya me in a what the get fund what the shall miss him. Onya me Dr. Grace na what the common fund what the shall miss him for 20 solid years. Me, I'm a private person. I don't work for the government. I've never worked for Ghana government before. And this abana here me the MPP abana here me da. Ti bibiara me bia me the mankasa miska na me den. Me die besiaba musora no pa mu kwadwuma. I sweat and I toil. Na sika na me nyan me de bobo amaman. Onu na ye tua ne ka mo ye de me adwuma no. Nti obi a ode ye bisa ne question onya me o. Oyo onu. Yan get funding go find him no dam when. Yan common funding aba projects no da ye on chram eskado no tina nanka so te eskado no on chram there ni fie baby o when market nkwanta no wo when wa ye ne dan on kencham the taxi station na we eskado n'enyim ho no no jogate wa ye ne dan on kencham injesia market wo wa mempiasam wo marketer Kojo Chrome Pentems or marketer. And Tama Chrome or marketer. A shame or marketer. And no war marketer. I am confused or marketer to them. Some will answer. And more, no, it's rather unfortunate because I'm the Minyamba Nejuma.
But also, you are aware, say, at the end of canon, your sanity.
No, I'm a chemical for you, mancho for you. I even have videos. Me the bachelor, mancho, yeah.
Which maybe.
Na more videos. I mean, me record it. Into onya sama. Because me mda maka obeka de me man kan no kwara.
Court one out you film.
Me ana me twi me hu film onya me da man kasa individual but party no. No we agree there. Yen twi yen hu film because na rampo court one baby da.
Okay.
And nankasa ne party ma me bi a wo fra no ho ma obegina wo MPP as in the primaries. She's on audio. I will send you the audio there. 2020 no, Mami no Dr. Grace ye rien.
Doc, what's there now?
I cross my heart. Mami should audio no.
Nana Bremen na fini ebe 2020 the Brem. Supreme Court.
Also there wo riam. Na onye one na wo wa benum na wo chinchim mensanche.
One the cars as.
Homani no kai onye one of the MPP for now. Was oye deputy NL.
Ruben no play.
She came to run in Skadoketan in this on which has been in a prime reason. So she met only she and Nankasa executive. So I end this if we knew. And a Nankasa Oracle to the extent that the constituency executive where they had to issue a disclaimer that some no can oye then one can ye. But ojina no odu baby no nyim that some no can or kwechi no obi said there boko there because us say and this MPP for no riam until by 2024 no doctor no ya nhwe ne ye ya dem 2000 no pa ye de man no obeda no 5000
Dr. Kwabena Bonfesi what radio university na
mo pocho me charge University of Utah. I'm a professor of surgery.
So unya ba adwuma na charge o just one
check Maka abrochiro or Utah University of Utah nya Ghana mpocho me charge wa Ghana University moko Kevas by University of Cape Coast Medical School but it's all volunteer. I don't have
nothing.
No minya ba na adwuma.
to kasa na wa kasa
man kasa besi aba na mo komedwuma menya miska me de medwuma
na okra strong case and now withdraw
oh say na was there Rhetoric and they were playing delay tactics, which is I think one of the legal things. There's nothing illegal about it, but what play delay tactics on a time now so in a party nekade yen case then you focus on rebuilding the party and refocusing on the upcoming election. I mean as a piece me tum because me feel that was the right thing to do. But what he just did is rather unfortunate because in Kaminyona and Kamankasa
say all right say what can be wa no jiri senya sanity a
no ni ho amisuna mo ho awu na ni ho amina migina ho mikita videos mikita audio into unfunny evidence as a lawyer no he needs to talk based on evidence into unfunny evidence yes there's no anecdotal evidence into evidence in the middle command.
Okay, so Nana Pachobrem
himbe mo de they say I mean
you're
what they say was my make oh my god
no one said we have to be there
they say main cap prof dey be
no you're up so a lot of visa
oh so the assembly there ya can be na me ade ba ko me can say but before I go on him say echina ye maame ama bema buzia na echina ye na ye na it's Fridays Saturdays so ye friend say kwabna forecast nti echina no nyina ye ko ho nti ama buzia de no ye me maame ba ko pe na kwabna so de so kai ye na ye
ana pia ye ko
ye juma nana ka bisa bibi se kozi se na ba imago de de no be de mago ye minua na misika ko di ni ho no ye odi kokko ye ni se odi kokko tua ede
sika sen
ye wie
ya bisika de se mutua ma no
aso ibisa aso
no ni ho obese ne ho
osi na owo is it Shama or so
new constituency in Pom, so how will he know?
Inti a friend is saying, Doc, yeah, catch on penny for no omoma metua na mitimi nyama yi banya bago mo na se mutua man because na enkola na elections no what is ikano nu aduane ma because o mu gina line da be na me kan nipa ye friend say o enkola ni gina line mu a na ye ma mo kwa mo nto aba afi na kom de wo mo inti no necessary o aduane ma wo mu di inti mesira ma
we are wrapping up
mo try na mo hwe na me so on settle me inti no these are political issues, sir.
Yeah.
But you see, violence in politics, dear, and yet going to 2024, we should not see that in our politics, whichever way it comes. Then me believe we say Mraso says he encouraging man. What I say? Is he encouraging man na yetimi then yetimi koye ni. Me maybe mkofo biti se me kwa skwa ade anu ha o maka ken se bebre nti no a man you should encourage us to be part of the political space because the way I am na the attempt ne niema wo mu no enye den emmoa for you to take up the mantle to be a politician enu de ye sema ngofo mo so ya mo mansem hamododo obi ka so ya wane kan One cause oya brewa. Wonya boya brewa. Onu oja we ne ho nya fence aketesi afo bebre.
Na one cause oya brewa.
Nketesi a mo
doctor o fe de ho ya ya. Doctor we nkomo bebi asa ko.
Wa shisha mama me na ho.
O de bi de be ne de o ne ti osura ahoro me nya sure so no mama nya de se
o baby fo.
Onya baby fo no de bo no osura ahoro ba hihye me ya de sa na mo ya me mpe no nipa no ogina ho no onye week. Onye week.
Ofi ene se ase ye mana e week.
As ye portray na as na ma mo hihye na ahoro ba obi me feel so emre bia ayi obi kokko hihye na ahoro ba no me ka se munya no na nko mekeka bi nche nipa koro.
Oh how?
What is how? Hwe ayi your friend is a former chief justice obi share na ahoro ba obeka bi kire nipa koro ye wie ne case na end
adai
and Naana Jane or you capable of answering people. Mama man yet said there. Oh, and I am
control.
Me them say control said then you because on her own obet me can do pebia. One can ya obet chira say you see ube come. me be jahon no discipline obi o discipline nipa ko nipa ndene nsa agu nachi oti ase nti no onye obi a wo mmere saa asifu say o na obi munya no so on pese obeyi ano a munya no pese oyi ano so amunya no oti mase me na me fu say ahoroba ni bi o mo hihye no omra no meka bi nkire wo mo onye dem so onye politics ni ye na nya se mo ba be ye ni say munya de mo keken nipa no na ni nye mmere mamu ma ye nhunu anya sa oba bedi ade na afi na ni ade no yi ba mo se wasesa ho mumie nhunu who she is today
and you who the real she
I think we see it. She has told us who she is.
She has told be
there's a she now
some mumie who she is so that nyame ye na dom
no ba ankoya de fufuru
ankoya bo bia meka say amon hwe so ba wa say onya tumi osa na ni edin because oba wo mmere no ntimi nwrane ayu visi wo wrane mema lectures mema professors you think it's omo beja but we yen successful oni obi anya asem Nursing community of education, one of the most difficult. Or yen pepe. Ultima say deputy session as an AM, and me believe he said, or no dear, a benny, din, the ammunition warm. Yamana ye meek, been or to one, it does not munya no one who she is. There be a down or the bed to know who she is. Oh, baby munyas are there now, Moyen. Because on yamre.
Doc, wrap up na cousin fire in we cry.
That's then thank you again to your audience. No more waiting for near than one I say. I'm done common why there. But my papa Mahama or the medanasi for picking a woman, Prof. Naana Jane or the Mahan. Prof. Naana Jane, my sister Nana Yarakan, Minjin Tumde Yama Mamin or look week, Mamin on him biara obo shema we look week, Mamin on the da. She stood on her own, she wrote her own speech, she read it well, it was effective. In Kofu people, I want to yen this for our friend and then what's in the Mamino Kasai Papa or Kasai Motas room or Kasai Magana for Kasana water from Ghana from Penufono, Mamina Kasema or Biara or a resounding. People understood it and people are happy she spoke that way. These American neutral friends are only political party what can pay Biara from and pay. In Tenyenzi, you're very happy. We are reassured this woman is competent. She's not just any woman, she's a woman with vision, competency, who is coming to the vice presidential office or no as a son because on faculty some sloganeering na misinformation and disinformation of from by a vice presidential office or some vice presidential office no na president Mahama no wa hwena Ghana no nyame pina wa kwacho no ono so we wa hwema we gina na Ghana man Ghana mother Ghana wa fanentampa or the fra December 7th 2024.
No, thank you so much. Nana, thank you Kosi.
Sometimes the political space it follows Newton's law of motion. To every action,
equal.
There's equal and opposite reaction. And there was a time in our politics, not Ghana for, Ghana for Omutsumi Ahochi, Bomon Party. And it showed in the 2016 elections. Enkoye insumudidi atem. Sebe obia oda omaina noa 4 years going to me and solve power issues. Am I 1 month see and solve it? That is the irony of your team. Ye mami prof. Ya adona akwaba. Senior Bekanon. Whatever reactions people give over time, media message. Let's not descend into the gutters the way Sebe, on the other side actually in the past, irrespective of how high their academic credentials may go. No, Yemfa in sema emu na message ye won so no yenko sonton say yenim say era Mahama onya ade fofo. Every day, I'm painting brand new as a shrubofo. But the election of 2024 is clearly a choice between the past and the future. In the future, no, it's clear where the world is heading, and Ghana needs a leader that is a visionary. Maybe the say again, and I've said it on several platforms, the last couple of weeks or months, Doomso, I mean, how we call it Doomso, localized faults, you know, I would want that, I would wish it to end. And yeah, my clear directive and as a clear communication say it's going to end in 10 days. 10 days, no do na say, swan ti hua. Nene o man hene me ba crowd ni me ubika. I also know say your running mates announcements, no, it will be received with excitement and will show that indeed we have the people to build this nation. It will be in the 1 year. Oh, and they mean to mean share. And it's up to Yema president, Yema incoming president, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Let's give him this peace to choose who he wants to work with. Why Apostle. Oh, okay. Hey, also you did not count.
Party ni mwache mienza.
Ana
PNC.
Oh.
When it does to the party nechi.
CBP. Say party in the papa there.
Now so then how young mabisi. CPP party there Rajanto.
An papa netia who needs on a kojobo to.
Na say now cast was odia.
And I say media o mo makomo ma. I dey say na kem papa echi na kwa me nkruma twa ni resignation no. UGCC Congress. Catch it.
So say,
I'm Papa Chin on the table.
It's only say.
Obutuye.
I'm Nana Anti-Suicide.
Oh wow.
I'm telling you, me Papa, my castle in Incho, me Papa. UGCC, come up, UGCC for some baby, Kwame Nkrumah treasure. I got Kwame Nkrumah about G position. Catch your G position.
No, we guy.
I make a job of CPP Papa, the idea some knocking.
To be able to change.